Who is making the decision in your life? Is it the true you? Or is it you who wants to impress other people and live up to societal expectations and norms? Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to dive deep into a topic that many of us have encountered at one point in our lives, and that is feeling lost in life. This was one of the questions that I received from my recent lecture in Japan. We've all been there at one point, and it's a challenging place to be. And if you can relate to this feeling, you're not alone. I've been there as well, but thankfully, when I encountered these situations, I asked myself 5 powerful questions that guided me towards my purpose and passion. So today I want to share them with you so that you can find your direction in your life as well. Let's go. So sometimes we find ourselves drifting without a clear direction or purpose. Feeling lost in life is not uncommon at all. But it's important to realize that this period can be a turning point for self-discovery and growth. So the first step towards finding your purpose is to delve deep into your past, specifically your childhood. What were the things that sparked your interest and excitement back then? Reconnecting with your inner child can offer valuable insights into your true passions and desires. So take a moment and close your eyes to recall all the activities that brought you joy as a child. Did you enjoy painting or playing sports or reading books? Oftentimes, the things that we loved as kids hold a clue to our authentic desires. For example, as a little girl, I was always fascinated by Disney princesses and ballerinas. I know it's so cliche, but surprise, surprise, I became a ballerina. Now, it's important to ask yourself, what exactly about these subjects sparked your interest? For me, it was the grace and elegance of ballerinas. You know, they were so effortless and they looked so light on their feet. I was also very attracted to the aesthetics and beauty that ballet brought. And I think in hindsight, I understand that these things that sparked my interest back then were not a coincidence, because those are my true values. Beauty and aesthetics are still one of the most important values in my life, because elegance and beauty in life is how I still get inspired and why I want to wake up every day. Once you've identified those activities, try to incorporate them into your life now. It could be as simple as giving yourself an hour a week just for that activity, like joining a painting class or spending some quality time with books that spark your curiosity, right? So another example is that I give myself 1 hour a week to be creative. Why? It's because when I was a child, apart from ballerinas and princesses, I was also a very creative child. So if you left me alone in a room, I would be trying to invent things. Like I tried to invent ballet shoes that would give me extra height. You know, I tried to create beaded tiaras. I would make embroideries. And so I try to give myself at least an hour a week of creative time so that I have an outlet for all of my creativity. And this is really important, especially if you have anxiety or depression, because by experience, whenever I was experiencing anxiety, the single thing that helped me the most was to let myself be creative. It's so important to give yourself a creative outlet if you're a creative person like me, because that helps you to focus and helps you express your creative emotions and thoughts. Because otherwise, all the creativity stays in your head and it leads to overthinking, and that leads to anxiety. So give yourself 1 hour a week where you do some kind of activity that sparked your interest when you were a child, because that will bring you closer to your inner child and it will help you bring yourself closer to your authentic self. Question number 2. What activities or hobbies make you lose track of time? So think about those moments when you were so deeply engaged in something that hours seem to pass by and you forget to take a shower or eat dinner. This is called your flow. Flow is a state of mind that occurs when a person is totally immersed in an activity. So when you are in a flow state, you are not paying attention to distractions and time just seems to pass by without notice. So these moments are really important when it comes to discovering your true passions because they're the activities that resonate deeply with your soul and give you a sense of purpose. So as an example, when I write, I forget about time. Time becomes irrelevant because I enjoy it so much. This love for writing and also reading helped me excel later on in my life, also at Harvard, because reading and writing just came so naturally to me. So I want you to think about those moments when you were so absorbed in something that everything else just seemed to fade away. What are those activities that make you forget about time? This is important because this holds the key to your passion and purpose. Question number 3. If today were your last day alive, what would you want to do? Who would you want to spend it with? So imagine that there is no tomorrow and you have just this day to live to the fullest. This exercise can be quite eye-opening and it was definitely helpful for me because it helps you prioritize what truly matters and gives you a sense of urgency to live authentically and pursue your passion fearlessly. So I remember a time in my life when I was battling depression and anxiety and I was feeling like I was rock bottom. I began questioning the meaning of life and all the suffering, and I was desperately looking for my purpose. I was like, why am I suffering so much? What's the meaning of all of this? And then with this question, I figured it out one day. My purpose in life was to be as transparent as possible and share my stories and my struggles to help other people in similar situations. That's what I would be doing if today were my last day alive. And so that's exactly what I'm doing today. I'm sharing my story. And once you understand what you want to be doing on your last day, life just becomes so much more meaningful because you can identify all the things that don't really matter to you in your life and just say no to them. So take a moment and think about what truly gives your life meaning. What would you do? Who would you want to spend your last moments with? Finding your purpose may not happen immediately, but through reflection and introspection, you can discover what truly matters to you. Part 4. Society often bombards us with preconceived notions of success and happiness, but it's essential to realize that these standards might not align with our individual aspirations and desires. So it's important to be aware of how these societal values can unconsciously shape our choices. We often feel pressured to conform to certain norms and expectations. So I want you to ask the following question. Who is making the decision in your life? Is it the true you? Or is it you who wants to impress other people and live up to societal expectations and norms? Whether it's pursuing a high-paying job like being a doctor or a lawyer, practicing certain beauty standards, or chasing material possessions, right? Society has a way of impacting our decisions because we self-regulate our behavior to fit societal expectations. It's called the theory of habitus, according to Pierre Bourdieu. So habitus is like an invisible set of habits, beliefs, and behaviors that we learn from the people and the environment around us as we grow up. So it's kind of like a mental map that guides us into how we act and think and feel in different situations. So we don't even realize it because it's internalized so deeply, but it affects the choices we make and the things we value in life. And that's why it's so important to ask ourselves, who is really making the decision in our life? Is it you or is it society? You never know. So the key is to be authentic and true to yourself. So ask yourself if your values are genuinely yours or if you've adopted them because of external influences. Take a moment to look within and connect with your innermost beliefs and have the courage to embrace your true desires. And the last question is, drumroll, if there is one thing you want to achieve in your life, what would that be? What is that one thing that you've always dreamed of achieving? It could be big or small, something that just sets your heart on fire and fills you up with excitement. All right? Think about that answer. Life goals give our journey purpose and direction. They're like the guiding stars, they light up the path wherever you want to go, whether it's a personal goal or a career or ambition or a dream of making positive impact on the world, right? Each aspiration holds immense significance. All right, that's it, you guys. Those are the 5 questions you should be asking yourself if you feel lost in life. And if you feel stuck with these questions, remember that finding your purpose is a journey that requires a lot of introspection and it requires a lot of patience with yourself. It doesn't just happen overnight. But just remember those questions and keep them in mind, and you will find your way eventually. If you found value in this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with anyone who might benefit from it. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel for future content. Thank you for joining me today, and I will see you in the next video.